world's strongest naval ships can destroy countries in the twinkle of an eye. The power and capabilities of these naval forces have reached unprecedented levels, attaining a new level of lethality. Among these technological marvels, certain warships stand out for their formidable firepower and their capability to deliver devastating blows that could annihilate entire countries in just a matter of seconds. Which of these nations possess such technological marvels? What are the capabilities of these destructive warships? Join us as we explore the lethal capabilities of warships that can annihilate whole countries in a few minutes. Let's begin with the most armed warship in the United States Navy, the Ticonderoga class. The Ticonderoga class of guided missile cruisers is a group of warships that was ordered in 1978. They were initially planned as destroyers, but their design was eventually upgraded to cruisers due to the advanced Aegis combat system and the AN/Spy-1 radar, both of which enhanced the ship's combat capabilities. This upgrade also included the ability to serve as flagship vessels, which led to their reclassification from DDG, or guided missile destroyer, to CG, or guided missile cruiser, just before construction began on the first ships, Ticonderoga and Yorktown. Due to their several capabilities of versatile warships, they are equipped with the Mk-41 vertical launching system, which can launch Tomahawk cruise missiles for striking land targets, or SEM-2MR/ER anti-aircraft missiles to defend against aircraft and incoming missiles. These ships also carry LAMPS 3 helicopters, RUM-139 ASROCs, and sonar systems that enable the ship to undertake anti-submarine warfare. Designed to integrate into carrier strike groups or amphibious ready groups, they can also handle missions such as interdiction or escort duties. Over time, upgrades to their radar systems and missile capabilities have allowed them to effectively serve as mobile platforms for anti-ballistic missile and anti-satellite operations. Of the 27 ships built, 19 were constructed by Ingalls Shipbuilding and 8 by Bath Iron Works. Except for one ship, the Thomas S. Gates, all were originally named after significant events in U.S. military history, with at least 12 sharing names with World War II-era aircraft carriers. In March 2023, one ship, originally named Chancellorsville, was renamed USS Robert Smalls. As of October 2023, 13 of these ships are still in service. However, due to high maintenance costs and the fact that it is also getting outdated, the class is gradually being retired, with all expected to be decommissioned by 2027. The Flight 3 Arleigh Burke class destroyers are set to temporarily replace them until the new DDG-X destroyers are commissioned in the 2030s. This warship-class cruiser design was influenced by the earlier Spruance-class destroyers. It represented a new era of guided missile warships that were equipped with the Aegis phased array radar system. This system was able to simultaneously scan for threats, track targets, and guide missiles to intercept them. At the time they were built, these ships featured the most sophisticated electronic warfare equipment and underwater surveillance capabilities in the U.S. Navy. They were also among the first warships constructed using modular sections, instead of being built from the bottom up. They were built to be larger and more heavily equipped than the DD-963 class destroyers, and this led to an increase in the warship's displacement, going from 6,900 tons to 9,600 tons. These cruisers are designed to operate in any ocean and handle multiple types of warfare operations. However, some of the cruisers experienced structural issues early in their service, especially after operating in extremely rough seas and unfavorable weather conditions. But these issues were mostly resolved between the late 1980s and mid-1990s, including repairs to superstructure cracks. The superstructure of the Ticonderoga-class cruisers was a modified version of the structure that was found on the Spruance-class destroyers. It was designed to support 2 deckhouses where the ship's radar antennas are kept. In contrast, the later developed Arleigh Burke-class destroyers were designed to carry the Spy-1D radar, which were all clustered on the forward deckhouse to save space, weight, and simplify cooling and support systems. Also, operational research helped to optimize the crew size of the Ticonderoga class, and they discovered that about 4 officers and 44 enlisted sailors could be removed by eliminating some roles that were not crucial to the functioning of the ship. However, by making it automated and replacing the manpower-intensive MK-26 guided missile system with the more efficient MK-41 vertical launching system, achieved significant manpower savings, which was not as easily replicated with the MK-45 127mm gun systems. Now, an interesting fact, the Ticonderoga class are known as double-enders because, along with the Zumwalt class, they are the only surface combatants to feature two large-caliber guns, making them one of a kind. The ships of the Ticonderoga class that were built after the USS Thomas S. Gates includes two Mark 41 VLS, which help to enhance their missile capacity with a 122 storage capacity, and launching tubes that are capable of holding a variety of missiles such as Tomahawk cruise missiles and several types of standard missiles. This system allows the ships to keep all missiles on full standby, significantly decreasing response time. The first 5 ships in the class were initially equipped with twin-arm launchers, limiting their missile capacity to 88 and restricting their roles post-Cold War to operations close to U.S. waters. As of 2018, a typical VLS loadout for a Ticonderoga cruiser included a combination of SM-6, SM-2 ERs, SM-2 MRs, RIM-1 62 ESSMs, SM-3s, Tomahawks, and RUM-139s, along with standalone Harpoon anti-ship missiles mounted at the rear of the ships. This cruiser is definitely a force to reckon with. Initially, the United States Navy planned to replace its Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruisers with new cruisers from the CGX missile cruiser program. However, due to major budget cuts and the increasing costs of the Zumwalt-class destroyer program, the CGX program was canceled. As a result of this, the Ticonderoga-class cruisers are now being replaced by the newer Flight III Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. Also, all 5 of the older twin-arm cruisers have been decommissioned. By 2003, 22 of the remaining 27 ships received upgrades to extend their operational life to 35 years. Before they were decommissioned, the twin-arm cruisers primarily performed duties close to home, serving as command ships for destroyer squadrons in the Eastern Pacific and Western Atlantic areas. As of July 2013, 2 cruisers had completed hull, mechanical, and electrical upgrades, and 8 cruisers had received combat systems upgrades. These improvements included updating the Aegis computational system with new computers and equipment cabinets, enhancing the SPQ-9B radar system beyond just gunfire control, installing optical fiber data communications, software upgrades, and modifying the vertical launching system to allow 2 8-cell modules to fire the RIM-1 62 ESSM. The most recent upgrades also added SM-6 and Naval Integrated Fire Control counter-air capabilities and enhanced the sonar system with a multifunction towed array. The cost for these comprehensive upgrades can reach up to $250 million per ship. Moving on to the Kirov class, the deadliest ship in Russia's Navy, which was originally built for the Soviet Navy. This class is named after the first in a series of 4 ships, initially named Kirov and later changed to Admiral Ushakov in 1992. There were originally plans to build 5 ships, with the 5th one to be named Fleet Admiral of the Soviet Union Kuznetsov, also known as Dzerzhinsky. The lead ship, originally called Kirov, was constructed starting in March 1974 at the Baltysky Naval Shipyard in Leningrad, launched on December 27, 1977, and entered service on December 30, 1980. NATO initially referred to it as the Balkan 1. The second ship, referred to as Frunze, joined the fleet in 1984 and was part of the Pacific Fleet. However, it was renamed Admiral Lazarev in 1992 and was taken out of service to be officially decommissioned in 1998. On February 21, 2021, the Russian Armed Forces and the Russian State Atomic Energy Corporation, Rosatom, agreed to dismantle and dispose of the nuclear-powered heavy cruiser. Admiral Lazarev's began its journey to the 30th shipyard on April 30, 2021, with the dismantlement expected to be finished by November 30, 2025. Kalinin, now called Admiral Nakimov, was the 3rd ship brought into service in 1988 and was part of the Northern Fleet. It was renamed Admiral Nakimov in 1992, mothballed in 1999, and reactivated in 2005. It is currently being upgraded and modernized at the Severodvinsk shipyard. The fourth ship, initially named Yuri Andropov, faced several delays. As of early 2022, only Pyotr Veliki was operational. The modernization of Admiral Nakhimov was ongoing and expected to continue until at least 2023, followed by the modernization of Pyotr Veliki, which was expected to take about 3 years. However, the delivery of Admiral Nakhimov was delayed from 2022 to 2024. The upgrades to Admiral Nakhimov are significant, with plans to install 174 vertical launch system tubes, including 80 for anti-surface and 94 for anti-air warfare. The modernization will also include new air defense systems like Fort M and Panzer M, as well as anti-submarine weapons like Packet and K and Otvet. The cruiser might also be equipped with up to 63 MM-22 Zircon hypersonic anti-ship missiles. The class was initially designed to counter U.S. Navy submarines with its substantial load of SS-N-14 anti-submarine missiles, and was later adapted to include 20 P-700 Granite anti-ship missiles aimed at countering U.S. carrier strike groups. These ships were intended to operate alongside newly planned nuclear-powered aircraft carriers for global power projection, but these carriers were never constructed. Here is why it is considered the most dangerous class in the world. The primary armament of the Kirov class, such as the lead ship Admiral Ushakov, formerly known as Kirov, consists of 20 deck-mounted P-700 Granite missiles, designed to strike large surface ships. Additionally, the ships are equipped with strong air defenses, featuring 12 octuple S-300F launchers with a total of 96 missiles, complemented by 2 Osama batteries with 20 missiles each. The Pyotr Veliki is distinct within the Russian Navy for carrying some S-300 FM missiles and having ballistic missile defense capabilities. The ships varied in their configurations of sensors and weapons. For example, the Kirov was outfitted with metal anti-submarine warfare missiles, which were later replaced by 3 K-95 Kinzhal surface-to-air missile systems on subsequent ships. Other armaments include the automatic 130mm AK-130 gun system, although Kirov had 2 single 100mm guns instead, and 10 21-inch torpedo tubes capable of firing RPK-2 Vyuga ASW missiles on later ships, along with the Udav-1 system with 40 anti-submarine rockets and 2 6-barreled RBU-1000 launchers. Interestingly, Russia is also working on a new anti-ship missile, the 3 M22 Zircon for the Kirovs, capable of reaching hypersonic speeds over at least 620 miles. The next position on the list is the South Korean destroyers, also known as the Sejong the Great class. The Sejong the Great class destroyers, also known as KDX-3, are 3 guided missile destroyers operated by the Republic of Korea Navy. On April 30, 2007, the South Korean Chief of Naval Operations declared that the lead ship in this class would be named Sejong the Great. Sejong the Great was the 4th king of Korea's Joseon dynasty and is renowned for creating Korea's native writing system. It is part of the 3rd phase of the South Korean Navy's Korean Destroyer Experimental Program. This significant shipbuilding initiative aims to enhance the Republic of Korea Navy's ability to defend the maritime areas around South Korea against various threats, and to help it transition into a blue water navy. Weighing 8,500 tons with a standard displacement and 11,000 tons when fully loaded, the KDX-3, they are the largest in the South Korean Navy and are larger than most destroyers found in other countries' navies. They are built to be more robust and heavier than the Arleigh Burke class or Atago class destroyers to accommodate an additional 32 missiles. Due to their size and capabilities, some analysts suggest that these ships should be classified as cruisers rather than destroyers. The KDX-3 ships are currently the largest vessels equipped with the Aegis combat system. The main weapon on the Sejong, the Great class destroyers, is the 127mm L-62 Mackay-45 Mod 4 naval gun, an upgraded version used by various countries. For point defense, these ships are equipped with 130mm Goalkeeper CIWs and a RIM 116 Rolling Airframe Missile Block 1 21-round launcher, marking them as the first Aegis system ships to carry the RAM. The anti-aircraft weapons include SM-2 Block 3A and 3B missiles housed in a total of 80 MPIC-41 VLS cells, with the Block 3Bs featuring an added infrared induction mode for better interception. For anti-submarine warfare, the destroyers are armed with K-ASRO-C Hongsanga anti-submarine rockets, similar to the U.S. ASRO-C, and 32 K-745 LW Cheongsanga torpedoes. Their anti-ship capabilities are provided by 16 SSM-700K Hai-Sung long-range anti-ship missiles, comparable to the United States Harpoon. Additionally, they have land attack capabilities with the Hyunmoo-3 cruise missile, an advancement from the earlier KDX-2 destroyers. The destroyers feature a total of 128 vertical launch system cells, with 48 MK-41 VLS cells at the front, 32 MK-41 VLS cells at the back, and an additional 48 KVLS cells also at the back. The anti-ship missile launchers consist of 16 launchers arranged in 4 quadruple sets. Partially designed by the South Korean Ministry of National Defense, built by Hyundai Heavy Industries and Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering, the Sejong the Great class destroyers are the largest surface combatants in the Republic of Korea Navy. The 3 vessels of the class were built as part of the KDX ARM-3 project to strengthen ROK Navy defense against North Korea and other emerging threats. The design of these vessels borrows heavily from features of the American Arleigh Burke class and the Japanese Atago class, and shares numerous common components and systems as well, but has a largely original construction and composition, likely owing to the use of fully developed technologies and subsystems. They cost a whopping amount of $923 million per vessel. The missile battery of the Sejong the Great class is exceptional. They carry an incredible 128 missiles in 3 different VLS launch cell pads. That is a much larger stock of missiles than the 96 cells found in the Arleigh Burke class. The propulsion for this class is 4 General Electric LM-2500 gas turbines that drive 2 shafts with a 100,000 shaft horsepower. The system provides a 5,500 nautical mile range at 20 knots, and the full speed of the class is approximately 30 knots. The manufacturers retain the ability to construct additional Sejong the Great class destroyers, but it is unknown as of 2021 if any others will be ordered by the ROKN. Let's move on to the Chinese guided missile destroyer Type 055 class. This advanced warship was first launched on June 28 at Shanghai's Jiangnan shipyard as the most lethal class ever. It is outfitted with the latest in air defense, anti-missile, anti-ship, and anti-submarine technology, making it highly capable in detecting threats, defending against air and missile attacks, and targeting maritime objectives. Unlike other ships that were mentioned earlier, the Type 055 is designed to be stealthy, featuring a low radar profile, reduced noise, and minimal infrared and electromagnetic emissions. But it is not only tiered for its stealthy features. This destroyer is armed with powerful missiles, including the HHQ-9 surface-to-air missiles, YJ-18 anti-ship cruise missiles, and CJ-10 land attack cruise missiles, which can hit targets up to 1,240 miles away. These missiles are launched from 120 vertical tubes. It also has a Type 1130 close-in weapon system, capable of firing thousands of rounds per minute to intercept incoming missiles. The ship is powered by a sophisticated propulsion setup that combines gas turbines to provide significant power, allowing the ship to reach exceptional speeds of up to 30 knots and travel up to 5,000 nautical miles without needing to refuel. Currently, China is testing a second type ship that is named Lhasa, and there are already plans in place to build another 5 ships of this class in the near future. The last warship on the list is the Arleigh Burke class. Built entirely of steel, this class consists of 3 different versions, known as flights. Introduced in 1991, they have participated in every type of military operation for the U.S. Navy, including escort duties, patrols for deterrence, anti-piracy operations, ballistic missile defense, land attacks, air defense, and humanitarian and disaster relief missions. This gives them a wealth of combat experience. Weighing 9,800 tons, these ships are equipped with powerful radars and a substantial array of missiles, and they have been continuously updated to manage any threat in the ocean effectively. The Arleigh-Burke class typically fires its missiles from Mark 41 vertical launch system modules. The first 2 flights of these ships have 90 VLS cells, while the later Flight 2A and 3 have 96 cells. These cells can launch various missiles, including the RIM-161 Standard Missile 3 for intercepting space-bound ballistic missiles, the RIM-67 Standard Missile 2 or RIM-174 Standard Missile 6 for air defense, the BGM-109 Tomahawk for precise strikes on surface targets, and the anti-submarine rocket that searches for underwater targets automatically. The ships can reach a maximum speed of 31 knots and travel up to 4,400 nautical miles at a cruising speed of 20 knots. Also, plans have been put in place to start retiring the Arleigh-Burke class ships around 2026 or 2027, shortly after the Navy phases out 13 Ticonderoga class cruisers. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.